Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Thursday morning, y'all. Here with you on Facebook Live. Excited to be here with you to talk to you about Plan B when it's time for your next best career move. So this is week 2. And sorry, I'm trying to get my stream up over here on my iPad so I can see as you guys are entering because I can't see here on Zoom. So listen, last week I had like technical difficulties. Those of you that don't know, I'm having work done in my house. And so because of that, come on thing, so I can see. There it goes. And because of that, I was downstairs in my sunroom and I didn't have all my equipment with me. And anyway, so I'm excited to be here with you. So as I always do, anytime I'm live with you, I like to start with roll call. So come on in, tell me name and where you're from as you're joining me. Tell me if you can hear me too. Come on in, come on in. Yep. So I'm looking at my iPad for the comments. Come on in, roll call time. Tell me name and where you're joining me from this morning. Come on in, don't be a looky-loo. Tell me, hey girl. Hey girl, hey. And over here waiting for your comments. Give me a few minutes to see I'm here live. I see a few more of you are joining me. Listen, even if you're watching a replay, I want you to come in. I want you to say, hey, tell me where you're from. Good morning. My Angela from Boston in the house. Good morning, good morning. Excited you'll be with me in Myrtle Beach. I'll tell you all about that in a few minutes. Come on in, come on in. And look, there's more than Angela here. Y'all stop being looky-loos. I'm gonna be talking for the next 20 minutes or so. So at least tell me, hey. Listen, even again, those of you that watch the replay, I come and look at every single comment myself, right? So I want to hear from you. I want to know you're here. I want to know you're present. I want you to at least say, hey, right? Come on in. Hey, my Messina. Good morning, girl. I love when I see my clients here. Messina, tell everybody where you're from. You know, I know where you are in the world. Who else is here? Come on in. I see more of you joining me. Give me time to come on in. All right, I'm gonna get started. Y'all had 3 minutes. Good morning, Sharon in ATL. Messina's in ATL too. Yay. So listen, I'm excited you're here with me. This is week 2. So if you missed week 1, I'm going to suggest you go back. I'll do a little review, but I gave way more than what I'm going to talk about. So the goal of this conversation this month of February is Plan B. Now, listen, here's what I know about many successful women like you. How do I know you're successful? Because you're here, right? What I know for sure is that you start a career. And listen, I told my story in part 1. You know, you start a career that you absolutely love, and it was great. And then you get to a place in your career where it's not enough anymore. Whether it's because it's not big enough for your gift, maybe because you're bored, maybe because you don't feel fulfilled. Whatever that is, it's time for your plan B. And plan B is not a bad thing, right? It means that you're expanding your territory. It means that your gift is no longer big enough for where you are currently. And anytime God is calling you to bigger, he's going to call you out of ordinary, of comfort. He's going to call you out of yesterday to go to tomorrow. And that is what plan B is all about. So my goal is to give you strategy to go after it. So week one, I talked to you from the subject, don't settle. See, we get into our plan A, and because we have the position, the title, the thing we always wanted, we feel guilty for wanting more. How many of you are there guilty, or you think to yourself, how dare I want more? I have everything I ever wanted. Or you may talk to your friends. This is what happened to me. And my friends were like, girl, are you crazy? And so whatever that is for you, I talked to you about why you shouldn't settle. Matter of fact, I did a great post yesterday, 10 reasons why you should never, ever settle. So many of you are settling because you're afraid, because you're worried of perception. I read every comment because you don't know what you think, you don't know what your purpose is. And so all those reasons, right? Knowing how to start your dream while you still work your 9 to 5, right? I'm reading all the comments people have posted, right? Fear of failure. All of those keep you in ordinary when God is calling you out to extraordinary. I need you to understand that. So I walked you through 3 steps, 3 things you've got to do to not settle, right? I walked you through 3. And so again, if you didn't hear that, hey, Don in Boston, hey, Jessica in Chicago, I see you guys coming in. Again, I'm looking at my iPad if you guys are wondering. My iPad is next to me so I can see the comments, right? So listen, the muse for our journey is Esther, Queen Esther from the Bible. I told more of her story last week. So again, I'm going to encourage you. So by the way, each week what I teach will build on the previous week. So if you miss it, if this is your first one, go watch week 1. It's in the feed somewhere here, right? So this part of our journey, part 2, week 2, I'm talking to you about who's on your team. So important when you're going after your plan B is to look at who is around you, who's pouring into you. There's a Bible verse that says, don't be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. Don't be misled. And that's what I want to talk to you about. Now, Esther. Yes, Messina, go back and watch week 1. Now, listen, Esther. The thing that I love about Esther's story is that she was a plan B. Again, I talked more about that last week. I'm not going to go into detail, right? And in the middle of the plan B, there's so much rich content that I can go through in her story, my favorite character in the Bible, right? And why is she my favorite? Because I feel like I am Esther, right? Because I'm from South Central LA. There's no way the neighborhood that I'm from, my life should have been defined by jail, drugs, and drive-by shootings. The life that I was living in my teens, trust I should be on my 5th baby by my 5th baby's daddy. That's real. But God, I met a Mordecai. So Mordecai was Esther's cousin. And so that's the first thing I want you to get. Don't be misled. Bad company ruins good character. So there's 2 examples I want to show you here in Esther's story of the company that they kept and how it helped them either go into greatness or go into right or got misled. So Mordecai was Esther. Some versions say cousin, some say uncle. It doesn't matter. They were related. Esther was an orphan. He took her in. He heard about an opportunity for her. He pushed her into her greatness. So I want you to get people that are around you. Hey, Charlene, will help you. Either they'll help you grow or they'll hinder your growth. Like the other example from the same story, King, and I'm not going to say his name because I mess it up, but it's Esther's husband, King Xerxes, whatever. One of those classes I was talking in school. So I'm very hooked on phonics, right? Yes, with the master's degree, I'm hooked on phonics and I have no problem saying that. So anyway, so the king who he had around him, I need you guys to get this, were people that were yes men. They only said things that he wanted to hear. Don says, not valued in my job subtly, but I claim today I'm putting all the effort into myself. Yes. So we're going to talk about that in a minute, Don. And by the way, you guys, if you have questions as I share, please post them. Okay. Hey, Brenda, tell us where you're from. So listen, he had yes men around him, kind of like Michael Jackson. Do you guys remember when Michael Jackson passed? He had a group of people, they had to see him, what he was doing, but nobody said anything to Michael Jackson about all the drugs he was taking. Nobody said anything to Prince about all the drugs he was taking. I want you guys to get this. Don't be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. By the way, that's 1 Corinthians 15:33. I have my notes in front of me if you wonder where I'm looking, right? So you got to understand King Xerxes, whatever his name was, King X, he had bad folks around him. So number 1, they talked him out of his first queen. Now, of course, he got an upgrade queen, even though he listened to them. But I guarantee you there's nothing that was wrong with that first queen, but he was listening to folks that were not good around him. Don't be misled. The second thing that happened is the king's best friend just all of a sudden decided he didn't like the Jews. He all of a sudden decided that he wanted the Jews gone, right? I see you, Brenda. And so he plotted to kill all the Jews for no reason. So I need you guys to understand that the people around you influence you. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about who's on your team. Now, the reason I'm saying who's on your team is because we're building a playbook. If you're going to go after your plan B, remember I taught you that you have to have strategy. And if you're going to have strategy and a playbook, of course, you got to have a team that's going to help execute the strategy. So I want to look at who's around you. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my own journey in this place. So here's the thing I want you to get, my sister. When you are being called to a bigger place than you are currently, some of your friends may not get it, not because they don't love you. It's not their journey, it's yours. So when I told all my friends, so my first career was in the entertainment industry and I was doing it big. Let me just put it that way. Living the life, living the dream, but I felt like something was missing. And I felt in conflict because that was the only dream I have had since I was 8 years old. And how could I not be feeling fulfilled? I don't understand why. And mind you, I loved it. It's not like I hated my job. I loved it. But something felt like it was missing. And every time I tried to talk to one of my friends about it, they kept saying, Nicole, are you crazy? So I had no place to lay my head. And in the middle of all of that, I met my Mordecai, which was my pastor at the time, right? And literally, he poured so much into me. Along my path, I've met other Mordecais, coaches that I've hired. And so I really need you to understand who's around you and who is either making healthy deposits into your life and helping you grow in your dream, in your purpose, or are they withdrawing, and never making a deposit? Listen, if you have a bank account and you withdraw, what happens to your bank account? At some point, you have insufficient funds because you never put any money back in there. So I want you to really look at who's putting capital into your life. And is it helping you grow or is it hindering you? Don't be misled. So either they're misleading you or another Bible verse is Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpens iron. So one person sharpens another. So you can either be being misled or you can be being sharpened. I need you to understand this. And here's the thing. We coast through life and we often don't even take inventory of who's around us. And so there are people that are in your life that you may not even realize have been putting negative in the seeds of your purpose because you just keep it moving, because they've been around you since you were 8 years old, or because they've been your best friend since high school, or because I can keep going, and because they're your family. Mm-hmm. Yes. Charlie, we're gonna talk about that too, y'all. Keep me like if I say I'm gonna talk about that because I want to get through my notes and then I'm gonna come back to y'all because you guys know those of you that don't know me, I'm easily distracted and I forget. So let me give you your points and I'm gonna come back and talk about stuff y'all are commenting on, okay? So I really want you to look at who is influencing you. So there are four categories of people that should be in your life, or some that are. So one is your friends and family. We can't do anything about family, right? But there are three places that your friends and family can be in your life. And by the way, I got this concept, I'm going to say, from a good friend of mine, somebody that's in my front row, because she calls it her row, Miss Sophia Nelson. Some of you guys know Sophia, political pundit, right? With her bad self, right? So front row, I call these life-giving friends. See, people that are the closest to, even, let me just say this, even Jesus had 12 disciples, but you only really heard three that were always with him. It was Peter, James, and I forgot Peter. It was Peter for sure. I forgot the other two, but there were three out of the 12 that were always with him. And I should have written this down, the names. I didn't know I was going to share that this morning. So the people in your front row are life-giving friends. They're giving you life. They're helping you grow. They will call you out when you need to. They're not people that are just yes people and telling you what you want to hear. They will also go, girl, you know you're not right. And we need those people in our life too. We need people that will be supportive and people that will course correct us, right? People that will give us constructive feedback. Now, it's actually feed forward, because when it's positive feedback, it helps you move forward. So I like to call it feed forward instead of feedback, because you don't go back, you go forward. Do you get that? Thank you, Brenda. It's Peter, James, and John. I was like, I know it's Peter. I was going to say John, but I was like, is that right? So thank you. Yes. 3 out of the 12 are always around him. I'm so glad I got some church girls with me. Good morning, my Katrina. So listen, love when I see my clients, right? I need y'all to get this. You got to be clear on who you have around you. So should they be in the front row? Are they helping you grow, right? Then there are people in the audience. Now, here's the thing with people in the audience, right? People that might be sitting on your bench or in the audience of the game of life for you. They may not yet be where you are. They may not be equipped to support you or encourage you in your dream. but that doesn't mean they need to be out of your life. They're not hindering it either. So like I have great sister friends that are not entrepreneurs that can't help me with this dream, but they are great happy hour girlfriends, right? Because we need that too. They're great. Let's go to the spot and just chit chat, talk about politics, talk about Jesus, right? But they can't pour into the entrepreneur in me. They can't pour into the CEO in me, right? So I would call those people in your audience. They're on the bench because they could any given moment get in the game and be able to help you. You just never know. Then the third category I call the opposing team. Some people would say that's your balcony. Those are the people that are taking away. Good morning, Helena. Those are people that are taking away. Tell everybody where you're from. Those are people that are taking away from your dream. Those are people that would hinder. Those are people that go talk about you behind your back. Those are the people that say negative things, that say, who do you think you are? Yeah, who do I think I am? I know who I am. I'm a child of God. I am gifted and uniquely made, and I will stand in the full power of who I was created to be. That's who I am. But see, when you are feeling doubts and when you're doing something you've never done before and you're already kind of doubting yourself, right? Let me keep it real. It doesn't matter how successful you are. When you're going into a new place, it's going to be scary because you've never done it before. And you don't need anybody to feed the fear. It's kind of like a gremlin, right? Oh, you up early in Fontana, California, Andrea. It's like a gremlin. How many of you guys saw the movie Gremlins? And if you fed the gremlin, it would grow and grow and grow. You give it water, one or the other, it will grow and grow and grow. So if if people in your life are feeding the negative, it's going to grow. So those people need to be in the back seat. I have family members that are in that category. I love them. You can't push them out of your life, but I know that I cannot let whatever they say sit in my soul. I can't take it in and take it as law, as I take it for what it's worth. I know where they are. I love them for where they are, but I don't spend a lot of time with them. Why? Because I know that spending a lot of time with certain people is going to choke the seed of my purpose. Not because they're trying to be negative, but if they're not in a positive place. Listen, some people, there's a quote by Marianne Williamson that talks about, and I should have looked up the quote. I didn't know I was going to share it, about your light consciously conjures up the light in other people. So when you are standing in the full power of your gift, or when you have this inkling to do something different, to go into your plan B, I need you guys to get this. Some people, you're going to start conjuring up their plan B. And if they're not ready, or they have low self-esteem, or they feel negative about themselves, they're going to be mad at you for conjuring it up. And that's when they start talking about you. That's when they need to go sit in your balcony. That's when I say they're opposing team. Because imagine if you're playing the game of life, what does the opposing team do? They steal the ball, they try to score for their team, not for yours. And you got to understand, when you're in relationship with someone, when you win, I win. When you do well, I do well. That goes the same for your mate. Now, let me say this really quickly for my single sisters, right? I remember when I met my husband at 34 years old, I had dated so many men that didn't understand what I do. And I didn't understand, and really because they were on the opposing team. And so they would hate on me because I spent a lot of my weekends on the road. This is my purpose. I don't get to negotiate with God what I'm purposed to do. I get to be it and do it, and the man in my life gets to support it. And if he does it, holla, bye, you got to go. So you've got to be clear in who you are, and look, even when you have a mate, which, by the way, so it's friends and family, and then your mate. That could be all one category. You could separate it up to you, right? But here's what I see so many women do, and mind you, I did this too for a really long time. You only let that person you're dating experience 30% of you, or 40%, because you're scared if he sees all of you, he won't like you. Well, guess what? At some point, that representative is going to be gone, and all of you is going to be present. Then what happens in your marriage? What happens in your relationship when all of you becomes present? So if he can't handle it now, he doesn't need to ever handle a little bit of it. Just saying. So the thing I love about Esther is she knew when she told her husband that she was a Jew, because keep in mind, a Jew could never become queen, and she didn't tell him she was a Jew. She knew that she might die, but she was willing to do it. And we'll talk about fear on another week, right? But I want you guys to get this. She was willing to be all of her and stand in the gap for her people. And some of you won't let all of you come forward because you've been hurt in the past, even with friendships. Don't let your past hinder your future. So when I met Daryl, let me tell you, I was so done, y'all. I promise you, I kept dating the same man in the same movie. They had the same script. I was like, if I don't get out of this doggone movie, I'm a scream. By the time I met Daryl, I said to God, I'm going to be single, Lord. You can be my husband. I'm done. I'm not dating anybody else. So I was so done by the time I met Daryl. I put it all on the table. Listen, I travel a lot. This is my purpose. I'm not going to argue with you. I went through everything. Now, I wish I had done that before with other guys. And Daryl said at first he was like, ugh, but then he, at the same time was like, So you don't need to apologize who you are, but I need you to look at the role people are playing in your life, right? And then don't hold back. Don't hold back for fear that they will judge you. They will judge you, but as they judge you, mind you, when somebody's pointing one finger at you, how many fingers are pointing back at me? Hello? So I need you to get that. Okay. So the other two groups of people that should be in your life, I'm gonna say one. Let's say coaches would be the next one I do because I have two other categories real quick, y'all. So I start going on tangents, and I know I want to get out by 8:30, right? And I'm gonna answer questions too. So the other group is listen. No one can look be their best self by themselves. If that was the case, God would have put us here by ourselves. God said, man should not be alone. I'm going to make him a helpmate. That's when he made Eve. So if God thought that at the beginning, what makes you think you don't get to plan B by yourself? What makes you think that you have to that you have everything you need to go after your next level? You don't. If listen, if Lamar, I mean not Lamar, got it. LeBron James. I'm like, what's wrong with me this morning? I haven't eaten my breakfast yet. If LeBron James needs a coach, I need a coach. If Serena Williams needs a coach, I need a coach. If Mike Tyson needed a coach back in the day when he was becoming a boxer, then I need a coach, right? So I want you to get this. God put talent in you. Your coach is the one that pulls it out. So some of you, the reason why your plan B hasn't been working is because you've been only doing what you know to do. There's a quote, one of my favorites. You've been in my community, you know what I'm getting ready to say because I say it all the time. This is a quote by Bishop A.R. Bernard that says, the tools you use on this level are not sufficient for your next. And the reason it's not working is because you keep trying to use these tools from plan A for plan B, and you need separate tools. You need somebody that's been there, done that, that can help coach you through it. Now, let me tell you the difference between a coach and a mentor, because so many people say, ask me to be their mentor. And I say no, because I can't successfully mentor you if I don't know you. Number one, a coach is someone you have a contractual relationship with. And listen, you have an end goal in mind, and you in that contract, you know you're going to meet every other week or whatever that contract is to get to the end goal. A mentor is someone that will meet you and fit you in whenever they can. It might be once a quarter, it might be once every 6 months. And typically you meet with them, you have coffee, and you just talk. And so there's no real goal in mind. With a coach, you're doing the work. With a mentor, you're just having a conversation. And here's the thing, a great mentor can only mentor you if they've been in a relationship with you. So anytime I'm ever going to mentor somebody, this is because they've been a client and I know their business and I've worked with them on their business, then I can be your mentor. So I need you guys to understand a mentor can't help move you forward. They just can't, because they won't have the time to spend with you to help you do that. You need a coach. That's why think about any winning team you've ever seen. Any winning, Simone Biles, Serena Williams, any of them, they spend a lot of time with their coach. Even to this day, Serena might have all these Wimbledon championships under her belt, but she still spends time with her tennis coach so she can perfect her craft and stay on her A game. Then the third person you need, right? So friends and family and mate, you can make that separate or make it one. Good morning, Regina. You need a coach. Everybody needs a coach. Yes, I have a coach. And then last but not least, you need what some people call an accountability partner. I call it a purpose partner, accountability buddy, whatever you want to call it, right? Because listen, that person's in the journey with you. That person is someone that may be in your field that you can just tease things out with. That could even be a mentor, right? So, like for instance, I have a coach that I work through all my plays. And then my accountability partner, my purpose partner, my accountability buddy, y'all that have been around me, you know, that's Shayna. I'll call her my business bestie. I met her in a mastermind working with a coach. And we just had so much in common that she's now one of my closest friends. She's sitting in my front row, but she's also my accountability partner. So I can call her and say, let me run something past you. What do you think about this? Right? As my coaches give me the strategy as I'm implementing it, I can run it past my partner. Now, here's the thing, I've been in this work for 20 some years. So I know what I need to be coached on, and I know what I need to run something past somebody on. And to run somebody past is quick. It's not a whole coaching session. It's a, girl, what do you think about this? Oh, I love it. Okay, great. Thank you. So you really got to take some time. So listen, in your homework for this week, your work. Now you can call it. I'm trying to find my homework. You guys know we're building a playbook. So this is part 2. Now listen, when I put this, I'm going to put this in my Facebook group. So if you're not a member of my Facebook group, let me tell you a couple things. First, you had to join, go to thebrilliancetribe.com, and we ask you questions. You've got to answer the questions. Why do I do that? Because I read every single one. The things I just said earlier were things people wrote on their questions. Why do I do that? Because I create these trainings based on things you guys say. Hello, right? So thebrilliancetribe.com is where you go. And this will only be available until 6 a.m. EST tomorrow. Why do I do that too? Because I want to always honor the women that come the day of. I want to honor the women that are in the work. I want to honor the women that say, I need it, I'm going to go get it. I want to honor the women because those are the ones, you are the ones that will move it forward now. You are the ones that are hungry and ready for your next level. You are the ones that are ready and need the strategy to go after your plan B. So it's going to take doing the work. Nothing great comes in ease. So your worksheet for this week, all about looking at who's on your team. So I'm asking you, I give you 4 steps to really peel back and look at who is influencing you, who's either watering the seed of your purpose, your dreams, your desires, or who's planting weeds in it that you've got to uproot and let go. Only if you want what's next for you. And then in addition to the work I'm giving you this week and the work I'm going to give you the next 2 weeks, those of you that are ready, that are either in a place where you know what your plan B is, but you don't know the strategy around it, or you have fear present, or you're not, look, or whatever that could be. I want to coach you. That is why I'm inviting you to join me for Awakened Woman Weekend. Now you can find out more at awakenedwomanweekend.com. It's in March in Myrtle Beach. Only 20 women will be with me that weekend. I'm keeping it intimate because listen, that weekend is not a conference. I don't do conferences, by the way. See, I do coaching experiences because I really want to coach you. Coming to hear somebody speak is great, but I want you to get that I'm more than just a speaker. I'm someone that wants to transform your life because God has more for you. I am someone that holds a space for you to go after you abundantly above all. And if it's abundantly above all that you could ever ask or think, it's bigger than where you are right now. So it's going to be scary. You're going to need tools to go after it. And so that weekend, you're going to get clear on what it is. You're going to get the strategy to go after it, right? But even deeper than both of those is I'm going to focus on your connection with God. Because without God in the middle of it, you will fail every time. Without God leading the ship, steering the ship, you won't know the direction to take. And don't worry, I got you. I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, listen, when you register, go to awakenedwomanweekend.com, $50 off. Use the code Plan B. Now, it only lasts until Saturday night. So you've got to grab your seat by Saturday night. And when you register as a gift, I'm giving you my book, It's Your Time to Shine. Now, I changed it back to the original name I wanted it to be. So when I published this book is based on Esther. This is 52-week devotional. Now, listen, when I published this book, the publisher made me change it to It's Your Time to Shine. So because I'm giving the e-version to you, I changed it back to For Such a Time as This. That's the name I wanted the book to be. I figured I could do what I wanted because I'm giving it to you, right? So you get the electronic version of this entire book, right? 52-week devotionals. So listen, you also get I do a quick video when you register. I'm going to walk you through how to use this book. But the thing I love about this book the most is it begins the work now on you growing yourself, your spiritual relationship. Even if you already know God, great. But I spend like literally, usually I do early morning devotion, but because I was getting ready for this and putting on my makeup and I have a meeting after, I'm going to do my devotion after this. Because you've got to be purposeful in your relationship. You've got to be purposeful in your direction. You've got to be purposeful in getting your, let me put it this way. If my phone needs to be charged every night, that's me, by the way, little me. If my phone needs to be charged every night, why do you think you don't need to be charged? Woman of power, of purpose, of great intention. What makes you think you don't need a charge? So my goal is to charge you up. You come empty, I got you. I'm giving you all I got. And then my business besties coming too. Coming to pour into you. Plus my Fab Squad, my fierce armor bearers will be in the room. All of us coming to pour into you. So again, awakenwomanweekend.com is where you go. Grab your seat. And understand, if you feel any of the things, sabotage, having the courage to start, you have so many talents, you don't know where to begin your business or your career, your next best career move. We're going to get the strategy. We're going to get clear that weekend. So we're going to get you spiritually aligned and purpose aligned. That is your awakening. So I can't wait to serve you and coach you and teach you. Now, let me go back and see some of the questions that I saw or some comments. So Don says, not valued in my job settling, but I claim today I am putting all the effort forth back into myself, vision and dreams. Yes. So here's your up level to your effort. And here's the thing, Don, whether I coach you or somebody else, you've got to give it the coach that can push you beyond your limits. See, most of us don't realize that we have a cap on our life. And if there's a cap, I don't have a bottle in here. When there's a cap on a bottle, it hinders you. So there are things that are intrinsic to us as we're having this human experience that keeps us limited. I need you to be unlimited. So if I can coach you in any way, I look forward to seeing you at the Awaken Woman Weekend. By the way, if you guys have questions about the Awaken Woman Weekend, please post them here. I'm happy to answer them. Charlene says, I felt guilty for wanting more, but now I realize that there is a difference between being content and striving for more. Yes. Now, here's the thing. I was listening to a sermon. When was this? I'm always listening to a sermon, so it's no telling. He said there's a difference between greed and hunger. Greed is that you are content, you have everything you need, and you just keep being greedy and keep wanting more. Hunger is because there's more for you to do. You're not full yet, right? And so many of you think you're being greedy, but you're not, you're hungry. There's desire in your heart. And I believe when you have desire in your heart, God placed it there. And if that desire is in your heart, that means you're hungry. So I say, go get it, right? Let me see what else. My nose is itching so bad. Yes, Messina. Anybody else have any questions as I'm ending for today? So again, when we hang up, thebrilliancetribe.com, I will put your homework, playbook part 2, right? And do the work, ladies. Don't assume that you know who should be on your team. I want you to look at areas that you're lacking. Where do you need support? You know, our work last week was really looking at where you are and how you're letting yourself settle. Because many of you didn't even realize that you were settling because maybe you felt guilty or you thought, oh, I should be happy. Or whatever that might be. All of you guys, I just read some of them. Some of you don't know how to start plan B, so you just stay in plan A. Right? So if that's the kind of support you need, I look forward to seeing you at Awaken Woman Weekend. $297 to register, $50 off, right? And listen, let me give you more details. So a couple other things, and then I'll see if anybody has any other questions. So number 1, it's in a beach villa. So your stay will be at the Hilton Resort and Spa. Donna, I don't have a next. Awaken Woman Weekend. This is my first time ever doing it. And if I do it again, it won't be until 2021, right? So listen, sorry, I get easily distracted. So let me tell you detail, then I'll look over here again, right? And those of you that are new, tell me name and where you're from, okay? So listen, you're staying at the Hilton Resort and Spa. I suggest you get there early on the 27th. Get there early, go to the spa, get some massage, get your body in alignment for the work we're going to do together in those 3 days. We start Friday night, okay? So it's Friday night, Saturday all day, Sunday until 2, right? So listen, my Facebook page is NRJ Enterprises with Nicole Roberts-Jones. So listen, I need you guys to get this. So 3 days, we'll be doing the work. We're going to a deeper connection to God, an action plan for what's next. We're going to get clear on what's next and then an action plan to go after it. You're going to be encompassed with a supportive community. And then on top of all that is about giving back to you. Some of you are tired. Some of you are exhausted. Some of you are frustrated. So during that weekend, we're also going to make sure, in addition to pouring into you spiritually, we're going to pour into you. Listen, we're going to pour into your soul. We're going to pour into you mentally and physically, right? So in those 3 days, I'm going to coach you. Hey, Trinidad, living in Pennsylvania, Keisha. I'm going to coach you, me, myself, and I. So I'm keeping it intimate to no more than 20 women, right? And then in addition to all of that, I forgot to say this. So we're doing it in a private beach villa. You're staying at the Hilton Resort and Spa. Sorry, you guys know I get easily distracted. And so my team is going to actually transport you, shuttle you back and forth. The resort, the villa is 10 minutes from the hotel. And I did that because I wanted it to not be another hotel event. I wanted it to be like a home setting because I want us to be comfortable and kick back, put your shoes up, dress comfortable. I wanted to literally be able to pour into you and just love on you for 3 days in ways that sometimes we don't get to do as working moms, in ways that sometimes we don't get to do as executives, in ways that sometimes we don't get to do as busy, ambitious women. Again, you need to get recharged too. So come get your plug in, right? That's awakenwomanweekend.com, making sure nobody else has questions. So listen, that's week 2 of plan B. So what's your plan B? What you doing to work towards your plan B? So let's make sure you got your right team in place, right? So again, I'm going to put our homework, your homework in the group, right? Don't be misled, ladies. Don't be misled. Sometimes somebody that was good started as good and now her season is over. His season is over and you've got to blissfully let them go, right? And so take some time to assess who's around you. Take some time to really look at who's pouring into your dream or taking away from it, right? And those of you that are ready for the support, the coaching, the tools to go after your plan B, awakenwomanweekend.com. Use the code plan B Saturday night. Now listen, hey, Angie from Inglewood, from my living on my street back in the day. So listen, y'all, listen. If you know a sister friend that should be in the room with you, tell her, come on, girl. Oh, by the way, let me say this. Tell her, come on, girl, let's go together. So when you register, you will get the link to book your hotel room at the Hilton. Your registration does not include your Hilton stay. So what it does include is food all day Saturday, and I got you Sunday. We don't start till late set Friday. So all day Saturday, I got your food, materials, coaching, everything you need, right? You just have to pay for your hotel stay, all right? So, by the way, I picked a really busy weekend, y'all. And so the hotel is selling out. The hotel keeps emailing me like, make sure you ladies are registering. So I need you guys to get your seat. Stop waiting. That's why I also give you the $50 code for Valentine's Day. Happy early Valentine's Day, by the way. Give yourself some love and treat yourself to the Awaken Woman Weekend so we can awaken you to your next level, so we can awaken you to the highest and best version of who God created you to be, so that you can go after you abundantly above all that you could ever ask or think, so that you can stop settling for where you are and go after your breathtaking future. So with that said, I'm out. I'll see y'all next Thursday, same time. Tell at least 3 girls, 3 girlfriends, 3 coworkers that you know need this to join us next Thursday. Can I ask you to do that? And with that, have a wonderful Thursday. Love on yourself. Give yourself some love. Don't wait for anybody else to do it. You do it. And that starts with you saying yes to doing work that you love. All right. So I'll see y'all next Thursday. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.